Psychometrics, or the art and science of measuring things we can't directly sense and observe. Psychometrics, or psychology metrics, or measurement science in psychology. Some other kinds of metrics are biometrics, measuring biological factors, econometrics, measuring things about the economy, sociometrics, and so forth. Grades are actually another metric. Variable. Variable can be a single attribute, such as sadness, or can be composed of a mixture of variables, such as for depression or anxiety. Construct. The word construct is a key vocabulary term. It refers to the idea or concept of what we want to define and measure, often based on multiple related attributes or variables. Constructs are scientific concepts that do not exist in a tangible form that we can sense, see, hear, feel, smell, or taste, but sensing technology and data science continue to make intangible constructs more and more tangible. An example is blood pressure. Although a highly skilled person might be able to feel differences in someone's pulse, generally we couldn't sense blood pressure until we had blood pressure technology, basically a blood pressure machine. Before we had lab tests for blood and urine, or even knew about ketones and glucose, for example, doctors used smell and taste. Many psychosocial ideas are intangible constructs, such as what underlies or are one or more latent variables for ethnic prejudice or racism. However, these can be clearly experienced and observed when manifest in someone's behavior, verbal tone, and physical actions, common sense. But common sense can be hard to define and measure. Doing a project on measuring common sense might be interesting. Measurement item, an individual question about the construct. Usually 3 to 5 measurement items provide good data about the presence and degree of the construct. For blood pressure, the two basic components are systolic and diastolic, the above and below the line numbers. Not usually measured is how much blood pressure changes or varies over time, which is actually important. Rating scale. Rating scales are how a measurement item is rated or scored, can be binary or dichotomous categories of present or absent, yes or no, usually scored 1 or 0, a numerical rating, such as rating pain from 0 to 10, or a Likert scale. Likert scales, spelled Likert, are a widely used rating scale format, often with 3 or 5 categories, classes, or groups, such as never, sometimes, often, or not at all, a little, moderate, quite a bit, very much. Many people like to use Likert scales that have an odd number of categories, so someone can pick something in the middle. Other people don't want to have that option, so that people are required to pick something on either one side or the other. Measurement tool or assessment instrument. For blood pressure, we need a machine or device. For psychological constructs, we use questionnaires. The performance of questionnaires has several important concepts, one of which is validity. Validity means how well a measurement tool is actually measuring our construct. Other words for validity are accuracy, plausibility, and sensibility. Sometimes validity is obvious. For example, whether or not parachutes work. However, just as an example of different kinds of sensing, someone who was blind could not actually observe whether or not parachutes work or not. It would have to depend on sound, such as different kinds of impact sounds. In a self-report measurement tool asking about depression items, Some people might not answer accurately for different reasons, such as feeling ashamed or not understanding the question. Variation over time in their feelings about the assessment would also affect reliability. Because there is no guaranteed gold standard for depression or anxiety or other psychological constructs, we define and measure validity in many ways and terms, such as face validity, content validity, clinical validity, and predictive validity. If a psychometric tool for measuring the probability of graduating from high school includes all the important factors we know of, we consider it to have high content validity. If it successfully guides the school counselor in working with students, it has high clinical validity. If it predicts graduation correctly for a group of students, it has high predictive validity. If it looks obviously correct, then it has high face validity. Another form of validity is consensual validity, which means agreement between experts. For measurement of depression, good response to antidepressant medication treatment is part of clinical validity. Reliability. The second very important part of psychometrics is reliability. Two key terms together cover a lot of what is important in psychometrics: validity and reliability. Reliability is how consistently a measurement tool produces the same result when repeated at different times by different people in different situations. For example, if a tape measure was made of rubber, it will be less reliable in measuring longer lengths because it stretches more. So steel is a good material for tape measures since it has minimal stretch. A measure can be highly reliable but not valid. For example, if there was a manufacturing error so that the labels for centimeters and inches were reversed, the tape measure would be consistent, it would be reliable, but it would be wrong or invalid. Thank you for your attention. Look forward to your multiple choice questions on this first lesson on psychometrics. Thank you.